Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. You know, I love doing this. Particularly, I love watching all four of the soaps, which is going to be five soon, but I love watching all four of the soaps because watching what Drew and Willow did, first of all, was just out of pocket for so many different reasons. But it made me particularly think about Days of Our Lives with Eric and Nicole. Two characters who I generally could not stand. And I guess they were sort of similar in the fact that, unlike Willow, who is still technically married to Michael, Eric and Nicole were both married to other people before they left. Um, and I thought about what they did because at first I was like, I mean, this is bad. But then I thought about like how hard I went on Eric and Nicole, and I was like, yeah, this is really bad because one, why I don't while I don't like the idea of Monica just banning Drew from the property, he's not doing himself any favors. Hell, actually, to tell you the truth, he's doing the exact thing that is why she banned him for in the first place. So it's like, bro, you know me. Out of all the soap reviewers, I've been sitting there being Drew's biggest cheerleader in a sense. But even I'm sitting there looking at this like, bro, you are not helping your situation by doing the exact thing that got you banned in the first place. So they had their little tryst or whatever, right? And Willow Smith is saying, listen, I'm staying for the kids, I'm staying for Monica. Right now it's whatever. The worst part besides Tracy is Sasha, because she's been judging her like crazy, which again is out of pocket because I'm like, boo, you came into town and that they're running cons, so like let's not, you know what I'm saying? Let's not get on that high horse too much. But again, yes, um, it is not a pocket thing for her to sit there and do while she's still married to him. Anyway, he leaves, but he leaves his tie there. And that tie comes up very important after Carly and the new Jack, um, which is going to take some getting used to, I'm not going to lie, come back to Port Charles. Now, Carly comes back with some gifts for the kids, and, at this point, she is just trying to go along to get along for the sake of the kids. Because here's the truth of the matter. I think a couple weeks ago, I on a live stream, and people were sitting there talking. I put up this thing. Whose side are you on, Michael's or Willow's at the time? And people were sitting there saying, Michael should sit there and really destroy Willow and take the kids and destroy life and everything like that. And I'm like, and people are just talking with emotions. The truth be told, when you do things like that, you don't just like when you have kids involved. It's a different game. The rules are a little. It's not as simple and cut dry. Bottom line is, what you do to your spouse affects the kids. So while people listen to this saying, "Oh, you should sit there and go out to, take the kids from Willow and stuff like that," it's like, well, how do you think the kids are going to sit there and feel? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one thing if you're single and she f's him over and he destroys her life. Cool, whatever. But when you have kids, what you do to them is what you ultimately do to the kids. And this is very important, okay? Because at some point, Drew comes to meet Anna. Now, Carly isn't that they're trying her best to just sit there and be pleasant or whatever. It's like, hell, listen, we got family connected. For my son's sake, let's try to make this ish work. But As Willow goes to go get tea, Carly sees a tie. And it's not just any tie, it's a tie that she bought for him, right? So she comes in like a bat out of hell. Now remember what I sat there and said before. What you do to someone, it's a ripple effect, right? And Drew is not there talking to Anna, particularly about federal funding and stuff like that. And, he wants to sit there and focus on organized crime, right? And she's like, hey, listen, it's outreach and different programs, stuff like that. Yeah, that's cool. But we need to sit there and talk about the harder matter, like organized crime. By organized crime, I mean, Sonny and Jason, because, we need to sit there and get those two locked up. Um, and that's always the interesting thing about Sonny and Jason, right? Because people will sit there and say they're criminals, this, that, and the third. Sonny is just a thug in a suit, um, yada, yada, yada. But see, again, this is where the morally gray comes in. Because while they are bad, over the years, me watching it, people have come in much worse. So they're like the best of a bad situation. But as they're talking, Carly comes in, and Carly's like, "You left this when you was in there banging your nephew's wife and everything like that. This is in front of everyone. This is in front of Brooklyn and Tracy and Sasha and everybody. Everybody, and I mean Felicia and Sasha and Lucy and probably some other people. She just airs all his dirty laundry out, right? And so when I sit there and say ripple effect, and I know, trust me, I'm already going to sit there and read the comments. Albert, you don't know what you're talking about because of da 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 da. I'm going to sit there and say it anyway, like I always do. Now, yes, it is absolutely busted out of pocket, whatever you want to call it, for Drew to be sitting there banging his nephew's wife while he is recovering from surgery and burns and stuff like that, right? But remember, this is a ripple effect, right? Okay, cool. You want to sit there and get at Drew for what he's doing. Okay, that's fine. I get that. It's a ripple effect, though. So you're not just gonna get at him. You're gonna get at Willow. That means you're gonna get at your own grandkids. This is why I'm sitting there saying when with Carly, this was emotions. There's long term effects to that when you do things like that. So yes, okay, cool. I get it. It's a soap opera drama. Da 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 da. I'm here for it. Very fun and entertaining part. But at some point, that stuff is going to trickle down to your kids. And then what is Grandma Carly going to sit there and say then? Right? So yeah, that's ultimately what I'm sitting there saying. That happens, Tracy is just having a good old time. Tracy has just been just absolutely obnoxious. Like, I don't know. You know what? I'm not going to sit there and say some inappropriate stuff. But the point is that she's just been annoying, you know? Yeah, she wants to sit there and start her meeting and stuff like that. She gets with Brooklyn. She snipes, she makes a comment about Lois. Lulu gets there. Lucy is not being at the meeting because she is not there trying to defuse the situation. Jordan is clearly working Sitwell, and Sitwell is like, "Oh, I like that you're being nice to me, and you're hot. All right, cool. Let's keep talking." Isaiah comes in and pretty much like, "You're a bad man. You're Basuda. You try to kill me. Blood money. Da 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 da." Lucy comes in like, "Hey, listen, let's not, be all hasty and stuff, because she wants to then try to secure her bag or love in the afternoon, whatever you want to sit there and call it." So she comes in, she tries to fuse it. Jordan's like, "Hey, listen, you're out of pocket. You need to sit down and leave." So Isaiah does leave, and Sitwell lies about the reason why Isaiah is so upset, and then he leaves, and he makes a future date, and she obliges, and they meet up later on. And long story short, she pretty much is like, I'm glad you were playing along. You know, the whole good cop, bad cop thing. He was like, I'm not playing. No, no, I was dead ass serious about that before. Um, he warns her, like, yo, listen, you're not a cop anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, and she's like, hey, listen, I've been undercover before. Um, and they're going to keep the connection, as they want to call it, on the down low. So, while that whole explosion goes on between Carly, you know, it's outing him and everything like that, he decides, which he really didn't need to sit there and do, but, you know, motions and everything like that, he decides to try to get her back, which I don't get how that was a clapback. All he basically said was, "Oh well, you know, your precious Jason to sit there, you know, banging a cook or whatever, Sasha, and you know, Sasha's pregnant with Jason's baby." And you know, she's shocked, but I'm like, I'm sitting there looking. I'm like, Drew, I don't think that had the desired effect that you thought it would. Like, she just embarrassed you in front of the entire Metro Court. She just dunked on your ass, and then you came back and you said that, and it's just like, yeah, I don't. You just outed her business. Like, what are you doing? Before, I did appreciate the comeback. And he was like, you know, listen, Michael was in that bed partly because of you. And I don't give a damn what anybody says. He was right. He was right. In this situation, I'm just like, you just made a matter worse than what it needed to be. And granted, this comes in the, you know, form of Cody Bell, you know, everyone's resident screw up who just can't help himself, was at Selena's paying his debt. And she's like, I got another card game. You know, you can make some money. I'll even sit there and wipe your debt. And he's like, oh, I got to think about it because, you know, my dad, you know, who is the commissioner or deputy or whatever. And so she's like, all right, fine, you know, just don't take too long because, you know, I'm not a patient woman. So he leaves. Drew comes in. Long story short, Drew wants information on Curtis. So he's like, okay, cool. But, you know, what's in it for me? Cody comes back with an attack of conscience, like, hey, listen, I'm not going to be part of your illegal anything. And then he sees Drew, and for some odd reason, because this mysterious beef that just came up out of nowhere, boom, we got beef together. He decides to start acting like a dick to Drew. So they're saying, oh, well, you know, you're hanging out with Selena. I see what kind of person you are. Bro, you were just in her office pretty much working with her too. Did I miss something here? Anyway, he decides to start going in. Selena's like, no, you need to sit there and get out the office. I don't want you here right now. Cody, being the brainless dick that he is, continues to keep going into, she got her security guard to escort him out. Um, anyone catch a little reference there where he sat there and said, oh, I don't need your thug, you know, snip there. I mean, technically, you're not a thug. I'm just, you shouldn't have said anything. I want to sit there and see if anyone actually caught that for the reasons that I don't think I really have to sit there and say much. Um, but now he pretty much said to Drew that Jason is Sasha's father of her child. It's now just like Cody, and I saw the previews and Sasha's pissed off and she has a right to be pissed off. Like, yo, you airing out my dirty laundry or not even laundry out of my business. Like, what are you doing? Um. Oh yeah, they also talked about deception crap, which was deception crap. Um. Oh, no. How can I not forget about? And there's two more things. Because General Hospital loves to cram every single character, and I know my gorgeous Queen Cat Lady will sit there and disagree with me because, you know, she loves all her characters. Um, Jocelyn is called down by Anna to talk about Dex. Um, they talk about the investigation, and it gets to a point where she's still upset that the investigation isn't really going too many places. And, she talks about her time at Turning Woods because she's like, the GA staff about, Cyrus being the one to do it? And Anna's like, no, because I don't have any proof. Now, remember when Jocelyn was sitting there kicking herself because she realized that she tipped off Cyrus? Well, I think she just forgot about that shit because there's a point where she was like, listen, I'm volunteering at Turning Woods or whatever. I could sit there and see what's going on. And Anna's like, no, I don't want you to do that. You're gonna impede my investigation. I don't want you doing that. Jocelyn does what Jocelyn usually tends to do. Act like a goddamn brat. Pretty much needs to say, I'm gonna do whatever the hell I want. I'm a private citizen. You don't understand. I don't work for you, and I pretty much do whatever I want. Anna has to sit there and remind this brainless idiot. Because honestly, here's the thing. She's like, hey, listen, if we sit there and set up surveillance, we gotta sit there and try to catch him. And, you being there can tip him off. And it's almost like the message didn't get across. And I'm just like, she told you that you effed up the first time. You realize you effed up the first time. And now you're just like, I'm gonna do whatever the hell I want. So it's like we just had some character development and emotional growth until she decided to act like a brat again and take like 5 steps backwards. Um, and then there's the stuff with Liz and Lucky. And he talks about his time playing the card games and how he had to sit there and cheat, and it was very hard for him to think because there was no food and sleeping and stuff, and she was his inspiration, and time they kept fighting and stuff, and this just comes down to what DC says as far as you don't put somebody on a pedestal. You don't put somebody on a pedestal, and that's when she was like, listen, I can't be your angel. Like I have flaws and stuff like that. I'm just I can't be that for you. Um, I think that's what Rick used to sit there and always refer to her as well. Like Rick was another person that put Liz on a pedestal. I was going to sit there and say that's the reason why it didn't work out, but also keeping a pregnant woman in a panic room is probably another reason why that relationship did not work out. Now, Jack and that assistant at that name escaped me is at Cyrus's cabin house or whatever. And she wants to go in, and Jack is like, no, let's just, keep an eye, let's surveil him, let's sit there and keep leading Jocelyn to, catch Cyrus as the killer. Um, yeah, that's pretty much all I have. I can't think of anything else because it's already been like 19 goddamn minutes. Because anyway, if I missed anything, write in the comment section, or better yet, come to the live stream tonight. I'll be talking about all the soaps, of course, General Hospital, Days of Our Lives, Boy and the Beautiful, and Young and Restless, in about 3 weeks. 3 weeks. We're talking about 5. Talking about 5. Also, for the gates, I already have a favorite character. I already have a favorite character. Already. If you saw the trailer, take a guess who it is. And with that being said, I'm going to go. I'll see you in the next video and hopefully live stream tonight.